What's up, y'all? We back with another video in a series of the game of money. In this video, I'm going to show you how they steal your wealth from you, your future wealth, your kids' wealth, because I know everybody been there. You feel like you working, you doing everything right. You just can't seem to get ahead. That's by design. So in this video, we're going to go through some charts. We're going to go through some graphs. And by the end of this video, I promise you, you're going to know exactly how to win this game. So right after this intro, we're going to get right into it. You now watching Breaking Cycles with Mac. All right, y'all. The first video was just a basic. This one is a banger. Now, it was much needed because in order to play a game, you need to understand the concept of the game. You need to understand the rules of the game. So if you haven't watched that, go check it out. It's on my channel right now. It's called What is Money and How Did Money Change? Now, that was very important because once we went off the gold standard in 1971, we went straight to fiat, nothing backing it. And that's a problem because if you do the history on any society, any empire that has experimented with fiat, most of them fail. And it goes all the way back to ancient times with Rome and to current times with Argentina, Zimbabwe, Germany. You see that? And the problem is because things like gold, silver, land, Bitcoin, even now today, have what you call, they are assets that have what you call scarcity, meaning that you can't make any more of it. You can mine for it, but you can't make any more of it. And the problem with a fiat currency that's not backed by anything is that if you have a printing press, you can print as many as you want. And somebody says, what's wrong with that? The problem is the more you print, the more that becomes in circulation, it devalues the unit itself. And that brings us to this point. Everything, well, not everything, but most of the things that you have been taught were wrong. You have to relearn this, right? You know, everybody was taught, go to school, get a good job, save money. Now, if you go to school and you don't do it right, you automatically come out in debt. Now, getting a job and working, employees pay the highest taxes. And if you save money, you're going to lose. I mean, absolute lose all the time. And that brings us into the first chart. Now, this chart right here is the inflation effect since the 1970s. Now, most people have heard of inflation, but I think most people get confused of what it actually means. And basically, inflation is the expansion of money printing. Now, watch this. 10K in 1970, you need 83,500 to buy the same amount of stuff today, meaning that you lost 88% of your buying power. So in the 70s, you could have spent 10K to buy those same things. You need around $83,000 today. Now, most people think inflation causes prices to go up for goods, but the rich know that inflation also causes assets to go up. So watch this. A brand new house built in 1970 will cost you around 17 to 23K. That same house that was built in 1970 costs you around 180 to 186K today. A brand new car was around 3,500 to 4K. Today, that brand new car costs you around 49K. Now watch what would have happened if you saved that 10K in assets. 10K in gold back in 1970 would have got you around 257 ounces. That same 257 ounces equals over $1 million today, up 11,500%. What if you saved in silver instead of saving in a dollar? Back in 1970, 10K could have got you around 5,208 ounces of silver. That same silver would be worth over 262K today, up 2,700%. Now, what would have happened if you invested 10K in 1970 inside the S&P 500? You would have over $3 million today, up 32,000%. That same 10K in Walmart, you'll have $23 million today, up over 1.7 million%. Coca-Cola,
you'll have $3 million today, up over 129,000%. Now, the next one is kind of a once in a lifetime chance because in 1970 through the 80s, they paid the highest interest rates on savings accounts in history. And since then, it has went down tremendously. And you'll understand what I'm saying in the next slide. So if you would have saved 10K in 1970 and didn't touch it, you'll have around $50,000 today. You still lost a lot of buying power, but you didn't do too bad in those times. So we get the point. So 10K in 2000, you're going to need around 18K today. You lost around 53% of your buying power. An average house that was built in 2000 was around $119,000. Today, that same house that was built in 2000 costs around $375K today. The average price of a brand new car was around $20,000. Today, that's around $49K. Now, watch what would have happened if you saved in assets instead of saving in a dollar. Now, in the year 2000, you could have got around 35 ounces of gold. That same gold will be valued at $146,000 today, up over 1,300%. You could have got around 581 ounces of silver, will be valued at 30K today, up over 900%. Now, some of the stocks from the 2000s, Amazon, a 10K investment will be valued at around $1.8 million today, up 7,100%. Apple, you'll have $1.3 million today, up over 34,000%. Now, the next one is eye-opening because if you would have saved 10K in the year 2000, you would have 10K 500 or 12,500 today. That's why you don't save dollars. Now, one thing about inflation, the Federal Reserve wants inflation at 2% every year regardless, meaning they want you to lose 2% of your purchasing power every year regardless. And that's on a good year because sometimes inflation is high. Then you got money printing, so that's why you don't save dollars. And in these next charts, you're going to see that the dollar has been going down over time and assets have been going up over time. This is what you call the Dixie chart. Now look at where the dollar started at before the 90s to where it's at today. Now you can see it's in a downtrend. It has some spikes where it goes up, but ultimately the trend is going down. Now look at the chart of gold as of today. This is an all-time chart. It has its peaks and valleys, ups and downs, but overall the trend is still up. Now look at the silver chart. It has its ups and downs, but overall the trend is going up. This chart is Bitcoin. The overall trend is up. Nothing ever goes up in a straight line, but overall the trend is up. And we can go through a bunch of charts. Assets go up when they print dollars is the main concept. So if you can learn that, you can win this game.
Oh, that was some good information. So the main takeaway is this. Of course, you got to go to work. You get a paycheck in dollars. Pay your bills. Do your thing. But the money you so-called saving, you need to be putting that in assets because inflation is going to eat away your purchasing power. And I already showed you in the video that they want inflation at 2% regardless if it's a good year. So even if nothing bad happens to where inflation spiked, you still gonna lose 2% of your purchasing power. And over years and years and years and years and years and stuff that you planning on giving to your kids, saving for your future or to buy this, you're losing. So you gotta take that money and invest in the asset. I'm not saying go out here and buy assets that I listed in the video because one thing about investing in business, you have to know what you're doing. So just take a little minute, let all that information sit in, you peep the game, and then in the next video I'm gonna show you how you can acquire assets because that's everybody's main concern. Like, oh, I don't have money to buy assets. Yes, you do. You just doing it wrong. I don't care if you make 20,000 a year, you can own some assets, and each asset is a different vehicle. You just got to understand them. when to buy them and stuff like that. So I'm gonna break all that down as we go longer in this series. Now, I always want to leave this on a positive note. And this one, man, it's kind of touchy. So let me give y'all a backdrop of this, right? So I got a tax attorney and he already know about this. So don't say, oh, you ratting him out, you spilling the beans. He ain't worried about that, right? He good. Now, he asked me what's been going on. I'm like, man, I started this new thing that I'm excited about. It's called Breaking Cycles. I'm going to take the average person and help them simplify all these news headlines, all the things that's going on in the financial markets in the world, and I'm going to bring it to them in simple terms to help them stop getting beat up by what's going on in the world, inflation, unemployment, AI, all that stuff. I'm going to try to simplify the information for them. So this dude going to look at me like this, and I'm like, what's up? He said, you want to know the truth? I'm like, yeah, we've been cool forever. You can tell me the truth. He said, good luck with that. I'm like, good luck with that. He like, man, people won't recognize the truth even if it slapped them in the face. And I'm like, I kind of don't know how to feel at that time. But what I thought was, man, he right. So many people know this or hear some information and they don't use it. So my positive note for the day is, don't let that be you, bruh. Don't let that be you. Take this game. Don't go out and rush and hurry up and spend your money, because we go through what you call cycles. You got to know where to rotate the money. You can't do the same play every time. That's just like if you playing basketball. If you keep going right, then all we got to do is cut off the right. So that ain't how this works. But be patient and let me show you how you can acquire some assets and when to use which assets. But the whole positive note is, don't let this be you. Take this opportunity to learn this game. Get set up so you can win, so your kids can win. You got me? And just like that, we out, dog.